Good day, everyone. My name is Anik. Today, we will be presenting on the concept and practice of prayer according to Shafi'i school of thought. Prayer is the central to Islamic worship, and the Shafi'i school of thought provide highly structured ways of performing it. Through this presentation, we aim to explain the core concept of conditions and practice that are essential to prayer. As taught in Shafi'i school, we'll go through various aspects, including pillars of prayers, the required condition of regularity, the importance of sunnah acts, and how we correct mistake during prayer. The Shafi school of thought is one of four major Sunni school of Islamic jurisprudence. Jurisprudence. Its place great emphasis of performing acts of worship with mindfulness, precision, and discipline. Prayer or salah or salat is a direct connection between the worshipper and Allah. The Shafi'i school teach that every action in prayer, from physical movement to recitations, must be performed in specific ways. In this school, purification and the correct intention are key, ensuring that both the body and the mind are ready to engage in this act of worship. Prayer is obligatory in Islam, and the five daily prayers, Subuh, Zuhur, Asar, Maghrib, and Isha, must be performed at specific times throughout, throughout the day. According to the Shafi school, these prayers are not only mandatory, but missing them without a valid excuse is considered a major sin. In addition to the five daily prayers, the Jumu'ah prayer on Fridays is particularly significant for men and must be performed in a mosque, replacing the Zuhur prayer on that day. Eid prayer or Hari Raya, performed twice a year during Aidilfitri or Adha, are also obligatory. The emphasis in Shafi school is on strict adherence to performing these prayers on time without neglect.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Muhammad Shafi'i. There are some conditions for validity. To ensure that prayer is valid in the Shafi'i school, several conditions must be met before the beginning of the prayer. First, the worshipper must be in a state of purity, tahara, achieved through ablution, wudu, or in some cases tayammum if water is unavailable. Second, covering the aura is essential. This refers to the private areas that must be concealed during prayer. For men, this means covering from the navel to the knees, and for women, the entire body except the face and hands. The prayer must also be performed facing the Qibla, the direction of the Kaaba in Makkah. Each prayer has a designated time, and the Shafi'i school does not permit prayers to be performed outside these times. Finally, the worshipper must have the correct intentions or niyah, which is silently formed in the heart before starting the prayer. Without these conditions, the prayer is considered invalid. Once the conditions of validity are met, the Shafi'i school outlines 13 essential pillars, arkan, that must be performed during the prayer. These include niyah, the correct intention to perform the prayer must be present. Takbiratul Ihram, the act of starting the prayer by saying Allahu Akbar while raising your hands. Qiyam, standing during the obligatory parts of the prayer, such as when reciting Al-Fatiha. Recitation of Al-Fatiha, the surah must be recitated in every raka'ah. Ruku, bowing at the waist while placing the hands on the knees. Sujud, prostration, prostrating with the forehead, nose, palms, knees and toes touching the ground. These steps are all essential, and missing any of them would invalidate the prayer. Each of these pillars has a specific sequence, and following the correct order is necessary for the prayer to be valid. There are some sunnah or acts of prayers. In addition to the obligatory pillars, the Shafi'i school encourages several sunnah recommended acts that enhance the prayers. Some of the key sunnah acts include raising the hands when saying Allahu Akbar at the beginning of the prayer and when transitioning between movements. Other recommended actions include reciting Dua al-Istiftah after the opening takbir, reciting additional surahs after Al-Fatiha in the first 2 rak'ahs, and performing prayers in congregation, particularly for men. Performing the sunnah acts bring greater rewards and acts to the spiritual experience of prayer, though they are not required for the prayer to be valid.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Zul Hanis bin Zulimi. Rectifying mistakes in prayer. In the Syafi'i school, sujud sahwi, prostration of forgetfulness, is used to correct small mistake. If a sunnah act is missed, sujud sahwi can compensate. If a pillar is missed, the specific rakaat must be repeated. Sujud sahwi is performed after the tashahud and before the final taslim. Congregational prayer. Congregational prayer is emphasized in the Syafi'i school, especially for men. Jumu'ah, Friday prayer, obligatory for men and must be performed in a mosque with a sermon, khutbah. Greater rewards. Congregational prayer are more rewarding than individual prayer. Leadership in prayer. An imam leads the congregation, ensuring unity in worship. Optional and voluntary prayer. The Syafi'i school encouraged Muslims to perform voluntary nawafil prayer, including tahajjud, a night prayer performed after Isha and before Fajr for seeking closeness to Allah. Duha prayer, performed in the morning after sunrise but before noon. Tarawih, special prayers performed during Ramadan after Isha.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Zahra binti Nizam, and I'm going to present for the slide 10 conclusion. Right. To conclude, the Syafi'i school of thought provide a comprehensive and structured approach to performing prayer. The condition, pillar, and sunnah work together to ensure that prayer are performed in a way that pleases Allah and maintain discipline in worship. The comprehensive on both individual and congregational prayer show how the Shafi'i school values personal spiritually as well as community worship. By following this guideline, Muslims not fulfill their religion's obligation but also strengthen their connections to Allah, contribute to the unity and the Muslim Ummah. In summary, the Shafi'i approach to prayer help Muslims maintain mindfulness and discipline and purity in their daily act of worship. That's all from our group. Thank you.